Good Thursday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. A 24-year-old Moses Lake woman has been identified as the motorist killed in an icy crash Tuesday just north of the city. Results of a survival study conducted last spring have confirmed that more than 93% of Chinooks salmon had safe passage through Rocky Reach Dam. A winter weather advisory goes into effect overnight for our area. I'll let you know how much snow we can expect coming up in weather. A potential shift in the way U.S. mail is handled in Wenatchee and throughout central Washington has some residents worried. The U.S. Postal Service wants to reclassify Wenatchee's mail processing center, which would remain open but would send residential mail to be processed in Spokane. In a public hearing yesterday at the Wenatchee Library, Brian Gaines, the Senior Division Director for Mail Handling in the Greater Northwest, said it's part of the USPS Delivering for America plan, which aims to modernize mail systems.
So right now, the current process is Wenatchee runs the outgoing mail. So the mail leaving Wenatchee, it gets on a truck, it goes to Spokane, it gets on an airplane out of Spokane, or it gets on a truck out of Spokane. And effectively what we're doing right now is creating two containers for everybody that aren't full. So in this concept, we're going to create one container with a little bit more mail in it, have less containers going on trucks, which effectively will make less trucks running around. Now there will be some volume that ends up going to Spokane that has to come back.
But mail users, including the chief elections official for Chelan and Douglas counties, raised concerns about the mail delays that would likely result from the plan.
If my information is correct, there is a tentative plan to implement this in February of 2024. If my information is correct. We have a major election in February, and right on the heels of that, at the same time, we have the presidential primary in Washington State. To implement this right then, during that time, we have those two elections going on at the same time. Any hitches, it's going to be a disaster.
We're working under a definitive timeline in that once the election starts, we're going to certify in a certain number of days. In that time frame, we are contacting voters to cure a miscompared signature or to sign or to get a signature on a ballot that they failed to sign. So we have to do that by state law through the U.S. Mail. Any issue that adds any time to it is of concern in that we have a possibility of not getting back to the voter, back to the voter getting the information back to my office.
Now what's going to happen is I'm dropping at OMAC, my post office of origin basically. It's going to go to Spokane and then get distributed. So instead of looking at a 1 to 2 day delay on my newspaper with inserts and things that are timed, time frame for people to get grocery shopping and things like that, I'm going to be looking at 3 to 4 days for those outlying areas. And that's concerning for me. As a publisher, I state it's going to be at your house by 10 a.m. on Wednesday morning. That's when those inserts are good. They're good for that week. And when I'm looking at maybe those people not getting that paper until the following Monday, when I'm already working on that week's paper, the timeline scares me a little bit.
Gaines and other USPS officials say all public input will be considered in the planning process and no final decision has been made. The man accused of bribing teenage victims with fentanyl in exchange for sexual favors will remain in jail on $750,000 bond. 39-year-old Abraham Escalara of Chelan is charged with 13 felonies, including child rape, sexual exploitation of a minor, and possessing child pornography. Sheriff's deputies say he victimized 2 teenagers using fentanyl as a lure and kept photos of the crimes. He's been jailed since his arrest 2 weeks ago. Attorneys for Escalara sought to have him released yesterday to electronic home monitoring. However, Chelan County Judge Kristen Ferreira ruled he must remain jailed in lieu of bond while awaiting trial. A 24-year-old Moses Lake woman has been identified as the motorist killed in an icy crash Tuesday just north of the city. Grant County Sheriff's deputies say Elizabeth Knight died when her southbound vehicle went out of control on Road K Northeast near the intersection with Road 4.2. Knight's vehicle collided with an oncoming propane truck driven by a 58-year-old Soap Lake man. Knight was pronounced dead at the scene while the truck driver was treated for injuries. The accident closed Road K Northeast from just before 8:30 a.m. until nearly 4 p.m. that day. Snow and rain forecasts will close the North Cascades Highway for the season, says the Washington State Department of Transportation. The yearly closure begins tonight at 6 p.m. and is closing due to high avalanche concern. The closure is between the Ross Dam Trailhead at milepost 134 and Silver Star Gate at milepost 171. Recreation is permitted beyond closure gates, but the department reminds people to be aware of potential hazards. The highway reopens in the spring. When we come back, the sheriff's departments of both Chelan and Douglas counties saw retirements this week of longtime law enforcement officers. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
This is the time of year we celebrate family, traditions, and great food. At Abby's, our legendary pizzas are so giant that they feed up to 6 happy family members. When you need a break from cooking, think Abby's. Our place or your place. Our family is here for your family. What makes Abby's triple topper so great?
Canadian bacon, pepperoni, ground beef.
With these premium toppings piled to the edge, it's a whole lot of pizza on sale for a very special price. Order your triple topper now at abbys.com.
Caught in a conflict? Family? Workplace? Neighbor? Business? Housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
The holiday season is here, and life is hectic. Let Merry Maids help simplify yours. You expect a lot, and Merry Maids delivers more. They'll make your home or business sparkle for holiday parties, special events, and family gatherings. They'll customize the cleaning to fit your needs and your budget. Merry Maids are cleaning experts. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. Best of all, your satisfaction is always guaranteed. Visit online, merrymaids.com, and call for a free estimate. Then you can relax. It's done.
The sheriff's departments of both Chelan and Douglas counties saw retirements this week of longtime law enforcement officers. Corporal Dean Schleiman stepped down from the Douglas County Agency on Tuesday after 26 years wearing the uniform. Meanwhile, in the Chelan County office, Deputy Sean Duke has spent 20 years on patrol. His retirement was approved by county commissioners this week and becomes effective December 1st. A Chelan County PUD survival study conducted last spring confirms that more than 93% of Chinook salmon had safe passage through Rocky Reach Dam. The study followed tagged adult and juvenile salmon. The study's results also highlighted the different ways salmon sought passage. It takes the average salmon between 17.8 hours and 38 days to travel from Wells Dam to roughly 1,000 feet below Rocky Reach. Overall, for combined adult and juvenile salmon, there was a 93.54% survival rate. That's 2.5% higher than the 91% survival rate required by the PUD's habitat conservation plans. It's been almost 15 months since Chelan County Fire District 1 and Douglas County Fire District 2 merged to become the Wenatchee Valley Fire Department. But most of the building signs and decals on firefighting vehicles don't reflect that. Fire Chief Brian Brett tells NCWLIFE News that a full rebranding is in the works for 2024.
Well, initially, I suspected it was cost prohibitive to rebrand the fire apparatus. And generally speaking, people don't care what the logo says, they just want a fire truck to show up at their house. So we weren't really concerned about the rebranding time frame. However, we looked into it, what the cost was, and it actually was fairly cheap. We've already rebranded half of the fleet, and it only cost us about $3,000. So we're going to go ahead and continue with the rebranding since the cost is fairly minimal. However, changing over some of the signs at the fire station are more cost prohibitive. But we'll make a plan for that. We're really proud to be one entity serving our valley, and we really appreciate the public supporting us.
Coming up next, we will bring you our weekly Pause for Pets feature from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, where we will introduce you to Debbie the cat. A winter weather advisory goes into effect overnight with snow expected through the weekend with rain to follow next week. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
At Confluence Health, our mission is clear: to provide exceptional care for our community. We believe in healthcare that's personal and local because we're just like you, members of this great community.
We are Confluence.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
We are Confluence.
Get your favorite beverage and a wide variety of food choices all under one big roof at the Tap Room in Pybus. The Tap Room has the most popular choices for lunch and dinner in the valley. With unique appetizers, salads, sandwiches, and tasty rice bowls, everybody will find a new favorite dish. Plus many craft beers from Hellbent Brewing, or you can choose wine, cider, or a delightful craft cocktail. Experience the family-friendly Tap Room at Pybus for yourself. It's just what you've been looking for.
D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee provides financial services for independent-minded clients working to secure their futures. Whether it's helping construct your personal financial, retirement, or estate plan, they start with a disciplined approach and straightforward advice. An individualized approach is rooted in the values, stability, and strength their company was founded on in 1935. With offices coast to coast and personal attention you deserve right here in the Wenatchee Valley, learn more about D.A. Davidson.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
It's time now for our weekly Pause for Pets feature from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Tonight's featured pet is a cat with a very sweet personality. Meet Debbie.
Hi everyone, my name is Haley and I work here at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society as an animal care technician. And with me this week is Debbie. Debbie's a really sweet cat who originally came in with her kittens, and all the kittens have since been adopted, and Debbie is waiting for her next forever home. Debbie enjoys cuddling. She'll rub into you and want to hang out. She also enjoys looking out the windows. She's definitely an explorative girl. She's just your typical young, about 1 to 2 year old cat who's ready to look for, her new lease on life. So Debbie's breed, we're not 100% sure. We have her listed as a domestic short hair. Her tail is actually born this way, so it's not broken or anything. It's just a genetic little bump. And it doesn't bother her in any way, shape, or form. It's just a fun little cosmetic thing. Her color pattern, she's a nice little tabby with some of the oranges in there to try to get that calico look in. So she has a little bit of the calico crazies, as we affectionately call it, where she's a little bit more playful and sassy, but a good way, good sassy. We don't know how she does with other cats, like adult cats, but she was a good mama to her kittens, so potentially another cat would be a good buddy for Debbie. It all depends on a nice, slow intro. If you are interested in meeting this cute little lady with the stumpy tail, she's here at the Humane Society. We're open every day except Wednesdays, 11 to 6. And you can come on down and say that you want to meet her, and we'll set you up with a meet and greet.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a great Thursday. It was a chilly and cloudy one out there. This is looking down at the Wenatchee Valley from our Omi Gardens Sky-Fi Tower camera. And boy, we had a lot of this. Low-hanging clouds, a little bit of snow flurry activity this morning, but the real snow is still on the way, and we are going to see it this weekend. In fact, we could pick up maybe 2 to 4 inches by the time we get into Saturday. We will see rounds of snow, mainly Friday and then Friday night, Saturday morning before things switch over to rain. But I'll tell you what, be very careful driving over the next 2 or 3 days. Hazardous travel, especially over the mountain passes where we are expecting a ton of snow leading into Sunday. In fact, some mountain passes around our area, 2 to 4 feet of snow is possible by the time we get into Sunday. And we're talking about Stevens Pass, Snoqualmie Pass. You can see that Friday and Saturday will be the heaviest snow days with a rain-snow mix possibly on Sunday. But I'll tell you what, be prepared. And if you don't have to travel west, just don't do it over the next couple of days. It's going to be winter travel conditions. 31, our unofficial high temperature today. 38 is where we should be for this time of year. So yeah, it was a chilly one out there. 28 is where we started the day, so we didn't warm up all that much. 27 is your normal low temperature for this time of year. Record low, 2 below zero, back in that frigid year of 1985. Sunrise 7:26 and the sun set at 4:13. All right, let's get you into that Friday forecast. Temperatures a lot like today. We'll see temperatures mainly in the low 30s, 32 for Moses Lake and Ephrata, 31 in Quincy, 30 for the high temperature in Wenatchee tomorrow, 31s up in Eniat and Chelan, and in the 20s from Cashmere to Leavenworth into Lake Chelan or Lake Wenatchee, which will see a high temperature tomorrow of 27. Here's our wet weather over the next 6 to 7 days. 1, 2, 3 large areas of low pressure aimed right at us here in the Pacific Northwest, and an atmospheric river will even develop as we get later into the weekend. We'll show you that in a second. Tonight, evening snow is possible. We'll see about a 40% chance of it. Cloudy skies, so I think there will be snow on the ground when you wake up tomorrow morning, and more snow falling, because Friday, that's when we will see that winter weather advisory. All of us inundated with snow. I'm thinking about 1 to 3 inches snowfall for Friday, an 80% chance we'll see that. As we mentioned, highs tomorrow at about 30 degrees. Winter weather advisory throughout the day tomorrow. On Saturday, a good chance for some morning snow. And remember, the yellow and green, heavy precipitation. We could even see some of that. It will begin to warm up on Saturday too, with highs in the upper 30s. And then on Sunday, here's that next round of storminess, cloudy skies, and 80% chance. I think it'll be a rain-snow mix on Sunday. Heaviest precipitation in western Washington. This is in the evening hours, so it's not really going to stop on Sunday. High temperatures near about 40 degrees. And then as we kick off our next work week, giant storm system off the coast. And there's that atmospheric river of moisture moving right into the Pacific Northwest. A 70% chance for all rain on Monday, mainly because we'll see high temperatures in the low 40s to kick off our next work week. And then for Tuesday, not much is going to change. Cloudy skies, another 80% chance for rain. It will be mild. We're going to jump in to the mid-40s as we get you into Tuesday. And then for Wednesday, the final day of our forecast, a little less chance for some rain. I think we'll see most of that rain in the morning, partly cloudy skies in the afternoon, but this is what we'll be dealing with to start off the day on Wednesday. A little better, as I mentioned, later in the day, and still mild, above normal for Wednesday, with highs then again in those mid-40s. Let's take a look at your 7-day now. 23 overnight tonight. Here's our snow days. Friday into Saturday. 30 our high Friday. Winter weather advisory throughout the day tomorrow. 37, your high temperature to kick off our weekend Saturday. And then the rain moves in late Sunday, 40 degrees, 43 Monday and 44 Tuesday. But look at that rain both days on Monday and Tuesday. A little bit of a reprieve as we get you into Wednesday afternoon with a high temperature then of 44 degrees. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
If you're helping a relative, friend, or neighbor with tasks like shopping and meals, then you're a family caregiver, and we celebrate you. November is National Family Caregiver Month, when those who selflessly assist relatives, friends, and neighbors are honored for their work. Aging in Adult Care can help you help them with chore services, respite, and home-delivered meals. Call Aging in Adult Care of Central Washington at 1-800-572-4459 for family caregiver support.
Castle Rock International is the Northwest's premier real estate agency for large acreage properties, farms and ranch land, lodging and resorts, waterfront properties, and commercial real estate. Professional, knowledgeable, and discreet, award-winning Castle Rock International has the listings and the highly qualified buyers you have been looking for. Contact John McNamara at Castle Rock International today, or visit their website for more information about this outstanding local company.
The Washington State women's basketball team scored the third most points in team history last night, downing Texas A&M Commerce 111-50. The Cougars were led by Bella Maricatete with 22 points, while Ellie Villa had 20 as Washington State improved to 8-1 on the season.
72-36 now, so we're down to 2.5 left to play third quarter. Jenna Villa feeds it inside to Bella Maricatete, little jump hook, that one up and good. Matches a career high in boards for Bella. She's up to 16. Meanwhile, Tara Wallach off the mark, no good. Bella gets the rebound and puts it up and in. She'll hand off to Tahina as the Cougars cross the timeline. AT to Bella, comes near side to Charlize Ledger-Walker, hits a Bella Maricatete cut, and she'll put it up and in. And that's where they're gonna rank. Only Northern Iowa in 2004 and Alaska Anchorage in 2000, or actually make that 1979, the only two times the Cougars have scored more than tonight. So again, with the 111 points tonight, it's the third most in Cougar history. They blow out Texas A&M Commerce 111-50 tonight.
Cougar coach Cammie Etheridge was happy to see her team bounce back after a miserable loss last weekend in Green Bay.
I mean, it's just hard to be perfect. It's hard to be perfect on defense, and teams are just so good offensively now that you've got to find ways to, keep pace with scoring, and people that are great on rebounding or people that can run the floor and get easy baskets. You got to find ways to stay in games, and I feel like we have more weapons, and I feel like we have people. We just haven't been playing the right way all the time, and I think this was a great example of spreading the ball around and getting a lot of people different looks and keeping the defense moving and in spin cycles versus. I feel like sometimes we tee ourselves up. That everybody sees the screen coming, everybody knows it's coming. They got 3 seconds to figure it out, and then they swallow us up because we don't play fast enough. And this was a good example of we kind of kept them on their heels, and we kept attacking and generally got just tremendous looks at the basket.
In other women's college basketball last night, Eastern Washington missed a three-pointer at the buzzer, falling to Gonzaga 82-80. The Bulldogs were led by the 23 points each from Yvonne Ejim and Kaylin Trong. On the men's side last night, Eastern Washington was routed at USC 106-78. Casey Jones, the only Eagle in double figures, with 10 points. Well, the Seahawks are in Dallas tonight trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. Coach Pete Carroll says that despite the struggles offensively over the last several games, he says he has to be patient with that side of the football, knowing it will eventually produce.
We have to be patient so that we do right and we don't try to force the issue, force the situation, so that we can take advantage of when the opportunities are there. And so, that's always a case, particularly when you got a guy that can throw the ball over the yard and he can throw it everywhere, and our guys are getting downfield and all. We need to exercise patience, and regardless of what the situation is, so that we can find our way and our rhythms to get downfield. So it's something we do talk about, yeah.
Quarterback Geno Smith says he believes in his teammates and coaches as he continues to strive for improvement when the Seahawks have the football.
I would just say tons of film that we can go back and watch and see a number of times where we've been really successful and been really explosive, and we still got those same players and same coaches. And so I trust in our process. I believe in the players around me. I believe in the coaches. I believe in myself. And so for us, again, it just gets back get back to doing what we do, which is playing good football, playing sound football, and knowing that we can execute. You know, that's the reality, being confident in that. And I'll always remain confident in myself, but I'm, you know, going to continue to preach that I'm even more confident in the guys around me. And I know that we all collectively can get it done. So that's where it lies.
Seattle and Dallas are underway right now on Prime Video, also on Q13 Fox in Seattle. Seattle Kraken continue the 4-game road trip tonight on the road in Ontario, taking on Toronto as the Maple Leafs will host at Scotiabank Arena. That game underway on Root Sports Northwest. The Wenatchee Wild lost a thriller in Kelowna last night in overtime 5-4. Rockets got out to an early lead before Wenatchee came storming back to tie it twice to send it into overtime. Kelowna would get a spectacular highlight reel goal to win it in the extra session.
Now through the middle, he'll get away from a check. Nice play, chance backhand, and a save by G. Sights with it now. Sights in the right corner, right-hand shot. He'll take back behind the net. He'll look out in front. He'll take a sharp angle shot. He'll score. He was able to rifle it home, and Kikkonen went to the butterfly, down maybe prematurely, but typically in today's day and age, the goalie is taught to do that. Just a great shot by Sights.
Effective.
Yeah.
I should write that down.
Chris Millett's going to join us. Here's a chance on the side. Is it in? It is. It is in.
They don't need the power play as much at home. They just win anyways.
Yeah, I'll tell you, they're a real good team here. Geeky at the side. They score Wood. One who's able to jam it home. Only 7 seconds into the man advantage. Again, Connor Geeky's going to get an assist on the play. And so that makes it a 1-goal hockey game. Rockets lead 3-2. He'll skate in, looks for a trailer. Here's a wrist shot towards the goal coming from Miles Cooper wide. Wood back behind the goal. In front for Cooper. He'll cock and he'll fire and he'll score. And so a quick strike again for Wenatchee. Cooper delivers it in. It's 3-3. And so, yeah, he's a guy with a lot of experience. It's hurling in a shot and a nice blocker save made by the goaltender G there. And you can see that interview, a video we did on Kelowna 10. You may want to check that out. Stutz in front. They score! Stutz shoots and scores on a quick drive and a one-timer.
Do not retaliate. You're up a goal. It's an important 2 points you're looking at.
Sherbina skates in and a score. Took a shot, kicking and save, rebound there, and Rocek did not pick up. Sherbina is 4-4 with 5:20 left in the game. Here's Andrew Crystal, goes back here to the blue line. Here's Iggy, face up, dot in front, chance, shot, and a save by G. Oh, Rocek with a chance to be the hero tonight, and G shut him down.
Just battling in the corners, and Rocek being ready to take the pass. He's still out there. Here comes Rocek.
Yeah, back in, nice move, chance back in, a score! Merrick Rocek with his best goal in a Kelowna Rocket uniform without question. A solo effort, individual glory, and the Rockets win tonight 5-4 in overtime.
Wenatchee returns home tomorrow night to host Portland at 7 o'clock at the Town Toyota Center. It's the annual Teddy Bear Toss night. For tickets, go to WenatcheeWildHockey.com. Well, recapping a thin night in prep basketball last night on the Les Schwab scoreboard, the OMAC boys and girls swept Liberty Bell with the Pioneers coming out on top of the girls' side 44-36. The boys' game at 63-55 the final. Tonasket took down Curlew with the girls winning 58-28 and the boys victorious 74-33. On the schedule for tonight, Wenatchee hosts Othello at 5:30. Eastmont's on the road at Hanford at 5:45. Etiat plays at Manson at 6, while Lake Roosevelt visits White Swan. Waterville Mansfield girls travel to Omak at 7, while Moses Lake is hosting Kittiwake. In boys play tonight, basketball as Moses Lake Christian visiting Oakdale at 6:30. 7 o'clock games have Othello at Wenatchee, while Moses Lake is visiting Kittiwake. Eastmont plays at Hanford at 7:30, while Manson hosts Etiat. Lake Roosevelt travels to White Swan. That, my friends, is sports.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at NCWLIFE.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@NCWLIFE.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us and have a great night.